My name is Joanna Sanchez. I am a family law attorney. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. I went to Southwestern Law School, and I've been a volunteer here at the Harriet Buhai Center since law school. I started out doing the different clinics that they would have on the weekends, and once I became an attorney, I started to take on some of their pro bono cases. And every year I keep at least one pro bono case, just because they're some of my favorite cases, some of the most grateful people to have as clients. The case that I worked on was a dissolution matter that had a restraining order attached to it. When I came into the case, it was to obtain a restraining order primarily based upon allegations of sexual abuse on the client's minor child. It involved the father who was out of state, the client who was a monolingual Spanish speaker, very low income, probably receiving some type of government benefits, and 2 elementary school aged children. And once we were able to effectuate service properly and obtain the restraining order from the client, she was incredibly grateful for that. And I decided to stay on the case and then assist with just helping her get her dissolution finalized, which was a really big issue for her. Her and her kids have had a very difficult time living here. They were here with the father, and there's lots of very horrible memories related, unfortunately, to Los Angeles and where they live and their school. And they really wanted to get out, and part of being able to get out of this place was getting her divorce done. And so we tried to do that as soon as we could, given that the court system, sometimes there's just delays, so that she could finally be able to move with her kids to where she wanted to be. So this client's background stands out because it's different than most clients, I think, that I see and that the client sees, and that she was sex trafficked to the United States. That has a whole set of legal issues involved in it. She was here for some time, and then got married to someone she met through that experience. And that person then abused her in many different ways. There was emotional abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse. She is a cancer survivor. And then this person that took her out of that world and married her sexually abused her daughter, the daughter they had together. So most people would have probably given up, to be honest, and not sought out legal help because it's so challenging. She doesn't speak the language. Her kids didn't feel comfortable going out into public, going to school. So they're kind of, enclosed in their house. And so for her to go out and seek help and get therapy and legal assistance, I think was a really big, it showed a lot of bravery, I think. It was a big step for her, and it showed her bravery. So I'm not sure how she was able to have the courage to do all the things that she's done, but she did it. I'm grateful that she found the center, because I think without the center, she wouldn't be where she is now. She had some closure on this chapter in her life and able to finally plan for the future for herself and her kids. So what makes volunteering at the center so special? I think it's really 2 parts, and one is the clients that we deal with. They're just incredibly grateful for the service that you provide to them. They're usually people who are in a lot of need and maybe don't get to talk to attorneys or have legal representation maybe ever in their life aside from the time that they're at the center. So they're incredibly grateful for the time that you spend with them and in developing their case and speaking with them. And it's nice to have clients who appreciate you. The other aspect that I think is important about the center is the dynamics between the center and the volunteers. So when you're a volunteer here, you're not just volunteering on that one case and kind of left to figure it out, but you actually have the support of everyone here at the center. So it's kind of like, you have your own support staff, you have, people to turn to for legal questions or logistical questions. And so having the support, I think, helps the volunteers know that they're not alone in this, and that there's help out there, and there's always someone to answer a question if something comes up. The center has taught me to really never give up, because I see the attorneys here and they will always find an answer. If you have a problem or an issue that comes up, don't hesitate to reach out, because they've either dealt with it before and they have a protocol on how to deal with it, or they're going to scour the earth and help you figure out the answer. And so sometimes working on my own cases, you feel maybe a little bit depleted, or maybe you don't have the energy that it takes to give everything. And so the center is a place where I think you learn that you're a team, and if you can't figure out the answer, somebody else will. So just having the back and forth conversation with some of the attorneys is so helpful in that. And so I take that with me on my own cases. It's just never give up.